Hi anglers, my name is Chris White, and today I'm going to tell you about one of the most effective soft plastic lures on the market today, and that is a soft plastic stick bait or Senko worm. And the one I have here is a Gary Yamamoto 5-inch Senko, green pumpkin color. Now I'm doing this video today for my brother Channon because he's a firm believer in these lures and uses them all the time, and told him I'd do a video, so here it is. But these are very effective lures, so I use them all the time. Now, it's a great lure year-round. You can use it in basically any condition, and the reason why it's so effective is because once it starts falling through the water, it falls very slow, and it gives off a subtle action that the bass love. Now, when I rig it, I usually rig it one of two ways. I'll rig it Texas rig, weightless, or I'll rig it wacky worm style, or wacky rig. And I'm going to show you how to rig it both ways. Wacky rig, I don't really use it a whole lot. I use it very seldom actually. I prefer the Texas rig, but for a wacky rig, basically all you're going to do is take a wacky rig hook and stick it through the center of the worm. A lot of people will do it like this, just like that, and by hooking it through the center of the worm, what that does is when it's falling, it's going to give it that wiggle, and bass seem to like it. It may look like something a kid just slapped on there, but it's actually quite effective. What I usually do if I'm wacky rigging is I'll take the hook and I'll put it in sideways, and the reason I do that is because it just gives a little more of that soft plastic onto the hook, so a bass can't rip it away as easy. Now, like I said, I very rarely use wacky rig. Most of the time I'm going to use Texas rig. And when I'm using Texas rig, I like to use with the 5-inch, I'll use 2/0 extra wide gap hook. If I'm using a 7-inch, I might go to a 3/0, but most of the time I'm throwing the 5-inch. And this is a 2/0 extra wide gap worm hook. And to Texas rig it, it's very simple. You just take the point of the hook, and you're going to stick it through the very top of the worm and stop at that bend, just like that. Once you get there, you're going to pull it out of the worm. So you're like this. Now you're just going to take that worm and go up the shank with it. Now once you reach the top, you're just going to pull it out until it hits that bend right there. Now you're going to want to hold the worm up, make sure where that bend is going to be sticking out of, and you're going to take your finger and kind of mark the spot. Now you're just going to bend the worm up and stick it all the way through. If I can do it. Alright. And once you get it all the way through, what you want to do, that hook point is going to be exposed. So what you want to do is just take the worm, push it up a little bit, and then hide that hook point inside the worm, like that. And what that'll do is it'll make it basically weedless. I mean, you can fish it and you're not going to get hung up on the bottom, or hung up in the grass or on stumps or wherever you like to fish it. Now, basic techniques I use when I'm fishing the Senko is I'll just cast it out and I'll just let it fall. And usually you're going to get hit on the fall. Now, you want it to fall on a slack line, semi-slack line, and that's because it gives it its best action. If the line's too tight, it's not going to move properly. When it's on a semi-slack line, it's going to give it its best action when falling. Now, that being said, you really have to watch your line, because a lot of times you're not going to be able to feel the strikes. So if that line starts to pop, or it jerks a little bit, or if it starts moving side to side, you need to set the hook, because it's probably a fish. Colors I like to use. I like natural colors. Green pumpkin, watermelon, browns, just natural colors. It's what I have most confidence in, and that's what I use. That's pretty much it on the Senko. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm not a fishing expert by any means, but I like to pass on some of my knowledge with beginners, try to get them into the sport of fishing because I love it. And I'm going to have some more videos shortly, different techniques and lures that I use, you know, just stuff to help out some beginners. But thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see y'all next time.